Hey guys, welcome back to another top 10 video. Today I'm going to be covering the top 10 greatest houses in modern architecture. First off, we're going to be looking at a classic of mine. Falling Water by Frank Lloyd Wright was a house that was designed in 1939. The structure was apparently built over a waterfall 90 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. The owner of said structure could be said to be living over a body of water at the time of its creation. Little is known about this structure, and nobody has been able to visit it for quite some time, but the ambitious design is quite impressive, being placed within a natural forest. The foliage seemed to quite engulf it, with the waterfall being the entire motivation behind the structure being built. Nobody knows where the true location of this building is today, but if somebody could comment in the section above the video, please let us know if you understand where the coordinates may be. Alright, without further ado, we're going on to the second home. This home is quite crazy in its structure because it was built in a different way than any other house. I think you guys know which one I'm talking about. The Home Alone home is a house that was built in Illinois in an undisclosed year. The home was used in several movies throughout the 1940s, but is most well known for being the house in Home Alone from 1998. The movie is quite crazy in its structure, because the child, played by Macaulay Culkin, ends up getting attacked by several robbers who were trying to invade his home. Unfortunately for him, his parents left him behind while they were to go on a Christmas getaway. Being the only one left in the house, it is up to the young Macaulay Culkin to discover his own wits and figure out how to disrupt these hoodlums' plans. Joe Pesci was also in Goodfellas, but this movie is his better known role. As you guys can see, this house is quite crazy. Anybody who has ever been said to live in this house has also discovered that there are burglars all around. Watch out if you are ever in the Illinois area. Okay, guys. Now, I know that last one may be a little bit spooky, but this next one is quite simple in its design. The Tudor home is akin to the Tudor architecture style beginning in the 19th and 20th century. The architectural style is the final development of medieval culture in England and Wales during the Tudor period from 1485 to 1709. Even beyond, also the tentative introduction of the Renaissance architecture to Britain. It followed the late Gothic Perpendicular style, but personally, I think the building looks more like something akin to Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. When I look at this architectural style and building, it just reminds me of some of the amazing quests in the Bethesda game. The game looks so amazing, even after all this time, that when you look at this picture, it's almost like you're stepping into the world of Tamriel itself. I can just imagine my Argonian Yareth doing all the amazing side quests within the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. When I look at this picture of a two-door home, the siding is quite intricate in its design, being reminiscent of a late Gothic period. I know that one may have been a little boring for the youngins in the crowd, but no worries, I have ourselves a modern home. This home reminds me of a treble clef, or possibly the home from Lab Rats, the show from Disney XD. That show was quite great in its design, but not as great as this structure. The grassy plains can also be reminiscent of a hobbit's home, but this hobbit seems to have done quite well for himself, seeing as how his home is made of glass and has interior lighting of the electrical sort. I can already imagine that stepping out of your house in the morning must be quite pleasant with that body of water outside your window. Just waking up and looking outside at the body of water and its reflecting of your house, that must be quite pleasant to wake up to. You could say to your friends, hey, I swim in the morning when I wake up, right after my cereal. Or perhaps before. I would usually do it before because you're not supposed to eat within an hour, but I digress. The next house we're going to be looking at is this beautiful home. It has a seems to be a greenhouse along the side of it. I might go in there to have a little fun sometimes, but not of the classic greenhouse variety. Usually people are growing flowers in there, but I would probably just smoke weed. This house seems very cool in its design because there isn't anybody along the interior to bother you. Everybody around the house seems to be completely gone. This must take place in a wintry landscape, but it seems like there are grass quite about, so who knows where this mysterious house may be. I know for a fact that I would love to live in this house. I don't quite like the color palette that they chose for the siding, however. That might be something that I decide to change. Not much more can be said on my part from this beautiful home, aside from the fact that it might be quite pleasant for someone to live in this home. And finally, on to the number 10th spot. Our last home that we're going to be looking at is this beautiful gray structure. This structure would be amazing for any normal person to live in. The foliage along the outside would be quite beautiful to look outside as you're reading a book. I know for a fact that I would love to go for a walk in this pleasant little yard. The chimney would be quite amazing for a Christmas getaway. Alright, guys. Thank you for checking in on another top 10 video. Today we covered the most amazing houses in the entire world. Next week, we might be covering something different. Check in after you comment, like, and subscribe, my homies. Peace.